Hello to my Scorpios. All right, Scorpios, let's get right into your reading. I love and accept myself. Alrighty. Let us get into your reading. Let's get into your cards. Let's go. Ooh. Let us see. Let us see here. Let's go. Let's see. 433, angels oversee. Ask for help. You may be feeling lost as to which direction to go in life lately. Your angels acknowledge this and ask you to put your faith in them. Write down the decisions you've been putting off. That you've been putting off. Then ask your angels for divine guidance about how to proceed. Draw another card while asking for insight into your next steps. So 433. 828, victory. Be content with what you've done. Recall the sacrifices you've made, the work you did, and the truths you've uncovered. Your angels applaud you and send you celebratory energy. Show them you receive it by thanking yourself out loud right now. Perhaps you even dance or even sing along to your favorite happy song. Feel the divine flow through you, right? All righty. Let's get into it. Let's see what is going on in the cards. Somebody never stopped loving you. Back straight, walk away. Your well of joy is within you. So it looks like somebody's entering into another cycle. So pray and meditate. You have the gift of telepathy. Somebody has found their star. Time to do a sacral chakra cleanse. Booked and busy. It's time to heal your wounded self. You have the gift of clairvoyance. Do the mirror work. Make a list of pros and cons. You have the gift of clairsentience. Yeah. Somebody has a prideful spirit. Time to do a third eye chakra cleanse so you can see exactly who it is. But sometimes you think you know, until you do a third eye chakra cleanse, you don't know for certain. But you are an answered prayer. First, need you to walk away from something. Because now people are talking about something. Eight and 3 is 11. 8 and 3 is 11. Something was recorded. Somebody is talking about a recording that was done behind someone's back. Someone was baited into something. Somebody is talking about it. Now that something is over, and that now that someone's not coming back, And somebody took a leap of faith. Somebody's talking about somebody's expanding. Somebody's saying somebody, hmm, oh wow. Hmm. So looking at your cards here, like I said, it's time to do the mirror work, and it's time for you to heal your wounded warrior self because um, Light High Priestess energy is Light High Priestess all over the world, all over social media, all over YouTube. And people are watching Light High Priestess all over YouTube. Yeah, all over the globe. And people are talking. People are talking. Hmm. People are talking about how ruthless people are. Huh. There's a lot going on. So yeah, maybe time to pray and meditate. I don't know who I'm talking to here, but people are. There's a lot of conversation going on now. A lot of conversation going on. A lot of money exchanging hands. Six of Pentacles here. Yeah. So Source has a leadership position for you. Source has a leadership position for somebody. Wow, a lot. So fire speaks to speaks to spirituality and action. So Source is putting you in a leadership position. Like Source is putting you in some kind of a leadership position, wants to pay you to lead something in terms of like spirituality and possibly religion. It's like Source has you doing some kind of because in hindsight somebody couldn't see this. Like I feel like in hindsight you couldn't see this, Scorpio. Like this is the direction that Source was leading you in. You know, somebody couldn't see this alone. Somebody couldn't see this. This is a path that so okay, your judgment card. And this is usually what happens with the judgment card. So judgment card is like breaking generational cycles, chains, and curses. So this is the path that Source has always had Scorpios on. You're ruled by two. You're ruled by two planets. You're ruled by Mars, which is the Tower card. That's why somebody keeps having these tower moments. That's why somebody keeps having these like intense everything. Like Source has to take you through these karmic, like keep coming back, like these karmic cycles. Like you just keep feeling like you've been here many lifetimes. Like you just keep repeating these life cycles, keep coming back like you've been here before many life cycles. Because it was always meant for somebody to be other people's sort of like angel here on earth. Use your use your gifts to be like spirit guides, not to hurt people, but to really help, like gently help people. Um, to be an answered prayer, not to hurt people. But when you're in spaces where when you're that number 8, so it shouldn't have to take an intense, no matter who it is, even if it's your own kids, even if it's your siblings, even if it's your parents. Those were like lessons, like karmic lessons. No matter who it is, spouse, no matter who it is, best friend. That number 8, source is like when source says detach, obedience is better than sacrifice. Source is like, I don't care who it is. When it's time to move, it's like, okay, it's time to detach, no matter who it is. So if you can detach other people from other people, so it's like then you're gonna have to detach whomever from whomever. Like if source tells you to detach from somebody, if it's easy for you to detach other people from other people, them, their kids, their spouse, their siblings, their whoever, then source is going to do the same for you to detach you from somebody in the same way. That's what source is saying. So it's time to do the mirror work. That's what source is trying to tell somebody. It's like the same. That's what's happening here. So source is saying put a manhole cover over the past. Because two energies now are seeing something in hindsight that they did not see before. That's where the third eye chakra cleanse is coming from. Is how ruthless something seemed to, how ruthless something seemed and how painful something was to a high priestess. And like how hateful something seemed, and how it was hard for somebody to accept, like how something didn't feel like love, just like, and didn't seem like it was, angelic at all. Like, um, so there was some kind of fire, like like it was like a fire that was shut up in somebody's bones. Like it was just like this rage that came out. These two, like somebody was just caught between two fire energies that was like a rage. So it was a Sagittarius, Aries, or um, um, Aries, Sagittarius, or Leo, whatever the fire signs are. That somebody was this Scorpio was caught between these fire signs that was just like caught like boiling hot, and Scorpio was just fixed, you know, on a victory. So something is pretty intense, right? And something just felt like it was just like burning and just separate. So I don't know what's happening here, but yeah, it's an Aries. We're playing a game of chess. Mm. So Aries, it doesn't have to necessarily be in Aries. It's something about somebody's first house. So Aries is the first house. So somebody felt like they were successful. Or all somebody wanted to do was just win. They just all they was cared about was winning. So while somebody was in hermit mode. So I don't know if you were in hermit mode or so. All somebody cared about was, you know, sacrificing. So saying somebody's words were going to be used against them. That's all somebody cared about. Ending somebody, causing somebody a nightmare. Yep. So, somebody has an innate spiritual understanding of dark magician energy. And so something was overwhelming. Something was overwhelming for somebody. hmm And somebody was right there to back somebody up. Yep. So whatever anxiety you may have been having about something, it will be going away very soon. And somebody is free. But this is what you have in common, Scorpio. I don't know who I'm talking to here, but this is what you have in common with someone. This is what you have in common with someone. Somebody is dealing with, and when I talk about, and I say this a gazillion times in my readings, when I talk about zodiac signs, I tie my readings in with the houses, right? So if I say Aries, I'm talking about first house. So find out what your zodiac sign is in the houses. So, um, find out what your zodiac sign is for first house, because Aries rules first house. So I'm talking about wherever Aries is in your birth chart, right? If somebody was determined to possibly talk about music, um, maybe a woodwind instrument or whatever, keep people enlightened, or this the triangles here. There's some kind of triangulation, using some kind of maybe psychology or turning people against each other or bring out the dark side of people or whatever. But just using a lot of fire. Um, Maybe you using talking about somebody's pets. I mean, just a variety of subjects um, to just bring out the dark side of people, right? But you're learning how to see something from a higher frequency and resolve something within yourself. Looking at the cards here, but um, something had to separate some energy. Looking at the cards here, and this is what makes you an answered prayer, because it's still something. Looking at the cards here, this is why source is saying you need to walk away. You and somebody need to walk away from something, because somebody is still confused as to what you're walking away from, because your assignment is over. Like somebody's assignment with something that source needed you to do is over, because somebody still may not be seeing something. um That's why sources saying make a list of pros and cons, because somebody wasn't open. That's what it's in the previous reading. It's like source needed you to hear. It's like source needed somebody to hear something. Like somebody was crying out for somebody for help. Like somebody was saying, "Help me, Scorpio." Like somebody couldn't. Mm, I'm gonna go ahead and close out the reading. That's why it's difficult to hear when you're talking to familiar spirits, because they're around so many other spirits and it's so distracting. It's like trying to talk to people around a blazing forest fire and they're steadily saying, huh? What? And just, yes, it's like to hear something around a blazing forest fire. So that's why some people just pray and meditate, get the answers from God. It's just too distracting. So looking at your cards here, once somebody gets away from all of the fire and somebody gets a chance to flush their water out, like really just gain some clarity through prayer, because that's what the Emperor card is, right? This is prayer warrior energy. That's why I say somebody must have Aries in their birth chart, right? This is when I talk about in Aries. That's why I try to clarify in my readings. There's not another person who is an Aries. You must have Aries in your birth chart. So we're not talking about your manager. We're not talking about your cousin. We're not talking about your sister or brother. We're talking about you must have Aries in your birth chart. When you sit down, get away from everything and think, okay, how was I in answered prayer? How was I in answered prayer? What did somebody pray for? How was I an angel that could have overseen something? Like how did source, how was my obedience better than sacrifice? What was my training, whatever the training was? How was it used specifically for something? If somebody prayed this hard, like what is it about me that somebody that source saw that something specifically that I had that was an answered prayer? Like what did I see specifically? Like let me hone in on that one thing. That's what you're saying. Let me make a list of pros and cons. What was it about me in particular? Remove me from all the other stuff. What was it about me? What was I in answered prayer? That's what source says. Shine a light on that. Get outside in the sunlight. Get out the house. Why was I in answered prayer? Not this person, this person, this person, this. Why was I in answered prayer? That's what source is saying. Make you responsible for that thing. Right? That's what source wants you to look in the mirror and do the mirror work, because that is what source is going to put somebody in a leadership position. That's where somebody's raise is going to come from. That's what source is going to get your, that's what your money is getting ready to come from. That's why source is saying it's time to heal your wounded self. That's what somebody's getting ready to lead a team, because being around all of this fire is contaminating somebody's water. Somebody has a very specific duty and assignment here on planet Earth, where you're breaking some kind of generational cycle, chain, or curse. So you decide. When you give of yourself freely, you expand your energy. If you give to get, it will feel like a burden or drain. Be genuine. Give from your heart. Give from your heart. So when people watch readings, all they hear is their sun sign. That's not how I read cards. I tell people that when I read cards. So people listen to my, oh, they gonna come in for their sun sign. Then you're not. Then my channel is not the one to come to. No, that's not how I read cards. Embodiment. So now is the time to make your mark in the world. You decide what feels right to you. Embody your leadership power and create your world out of your deepest desires. So source is trying to help somebody, like, do the mirror work. Something about whatever your gift is very, very specific. Very specific. Look at um your gift. Like you gotta really learn how to protect your water. Like really, really learn how to protect your water, because yeah. Anyway, that's what I have for you. Bye.